Today I will tell you what is the most important thing for women in sex with you. The thing that matters the most to them in sex. The thing that they want in sex more than anything else. And if she doesn't get this one thing in sex with you, then everything else you do in sex, it's okay, it's not too bad, but sex will always feel a little bit half done for her. I'm Alexey Welsh and I have worked for 20 years with women as a sex coach and a sex therapist. I have worked with thousands of women. I ask all women that I work with what is important for them in sex, what they want out of sex. It's just the thing that I do in coaching, and women have told me that other things are important to them too. But this is the one thing where most women said that this is very important, and most women said was the most important thing for them. And other things are okay if they're there, if they're not, sometimes yes, sometimes no, more or less, as long as they get this thing from sex with you. So what is it? Is it the orgasm? No, it's not the orgasm, obviously. That would be too obvious and there would be no twist in the plot here. Most women told me that as long as they get that thing with you in sex, they're okay if there's an orgasm, if there is no orgasm, it's not a big deal. In any case, they can get an orgasm on their own really easily with a vibrator, anytime. A vibrator is more effective than a man at giving orgasms. This is just something you have to deal with. That is the truth. An orgasm is really not the most important thing for women in sex with you. Is it passion? No. Sex can be passionate for women. It can be very relaxed, very quiet, as long as they get that very important thing with you in sex. Is it love? Well, actually, that wasn't a very common answer, even though I believe that women really crave to be loved in their body in sex. I think it's really important for them. But actually, a lot of women are not aware of this, and I normally have to dig for that answer. So no, they didn't say love. Is it fun? Is it pleasure? No, actually, women want that too, but on its own, it's not very satisfying for them. They want something else much more than that. The most important thing that women want to feel in sex with you is connection. Feeling connection is very important for women in sex. For women, sex is not just about physical stimulation to physical pleasure. That kind of sex is completely unsatisfying for women. That's what they do with a vibrator. For women, sex is an experience of human connection, first of all. It is an experience of being with another person, experiencing this with another person. Women have sex, for the large part, to experience connection. This is the most important feeling in sex for women. And this goes for all sex, all kinds of sex. In committed relationships, obviously, the woman wants to feel connection with her partner. She wants to feel that they are connected through sex. But even in something more casual, in hookups, a woman still wants to feel that this guy she's with, she feels a connection with him in that experience, that sex feels connected for her. She feels connected with him during sex, whatever kind of sex you have. And it could be very fun and passionate, it could be kinky, it could be this, it could be that. But she still wants to have that experience of connection. Not just before sex, or you meet somebody, you connect with them, and therefore you can have sex. No, sex itself, she wants to experience connection through sex, throughout sex, all the way through sex. In every moment of sex, she wants to feel connection. It's like a real substance for her. Like they say, power is a drug. So, it's not like a chemical drug, it's not a material drug, but it feels like a more powerful drug, even though it's quite abstract in a way, it's just a feeling. So connection is like this. It's a more powerful substance for her than even physical pleasure. She really feels it. So when she feels connection with you in sex, she's often quite relaxed about what else happens in sex. The rest is kind of more optional for her. It could be with an orgasm, could be without an orgasm, could be more passionate, more active, could be more relaxed. It might not even involve the genitals. It can be all different kinds of sex, and they will still feel very special, very satisfying for her because she felt connection. And you will often hear that from women. They will tell you, it doesn't matter that we didn't do this or that didn't happen, this didn't happen. What mattered to me is that I felt connected to you. You will hear that very often. And remember that it's not like you're going to sit there and just, stare at each other and feel connection. It's not like that. You're going to do all the other things in sex. Of course, you're going to do all the touching and the pleasure and, the movement of the bodies and the genitals and, it's all going to be there. But all of it really matters to her if she feels connected to you throughout this, if she feels that it also comes with connection. So many women will tell you that even if you did all the things, touching her body and arousing her body and, stimulating the genitals correctly, trying to get her to the orgasm, giving her oral and all these things, if she didn't feel connection with you, then it felt a bit kind of off. It felt a bit like not quite it didn't quite work for her. So everything that happens in sex really matters to her only if it also feels connected for her. And she feels a lot more in sex when she feels connection. So it's not just something that she wants, but it's also the enabler. It allows her to really experience her body a lot more and the pleasure in her body and her arousal. She gets a lot more out of sex when she feels that it is connected. It would actually be very difficult for you to really engage her body and make her feel really good if she doesn't feel connection with you in that moment. And you don't need to be in a relationship with her to be able to feel connection. In that moment, with you, if she's decided to have sex with you, she wants to feel connection with you as a human being. It's not some kind of metaphysics, it's a real thing in this moment. She wants to feel that you are there with her in this experience. You're present with her in this moment. You are doing something together in this experience. It doesn't need to be really slow. It's not about what kind of sex you have, and it can be really fast sex, it can be really slow sex, it can be all kinds of sex, and it can feel connected or disconnected. It's just that you are with her right now. She feels that you are with her. You are enjoying this moment with her. You are enjoying this moment. She feels you right now in this moment. You're not trying to work on something. You're not away somewhere. You're not doing a job. You are in this moment with her, and you are enjoying this moment with her. So you feel her, you are with her. You're not on your own enjoying this moment. You are enjoying it with her. She feels you. So connection in sex is not some kind of an abstraction, some kind of an abstract thought, that, women talk about. No, it is something very real. It is something that you absolutely do in sex. You make her feel connection. It is in your technique. The physical technique and the feeling you're putting into it makes her feel connected or disconnected. It is how you're touching her body, you're moving on her body, how you are stimulating her genitals, how you are arousing her, how you're moving in the intercourse. All of that will make her feel connected or disconnected. Your technique makes her feel that you're making her feel good right now, that you're loving her body right now, that you are speaking to her body right now, that you are listening to her body right now. It is all in your technique. You're either making her feel that, or she might be feeling in your technique that you're just working her, just stimulating her, or you're just using her even. So making her feel connection in sex, it is absolutely in your technique. It is a good technique in everything you do. And there are two things that very commonly happen in sex that make women feel really disconnected, and they feel no connection in sex at all. And these two things happen very often. So one is when the guy is just using her body to come. He's just in his own world, it's his own sensation, his own pleasure. He just wants to come. He's using her body to come. And then women feel really disconnected, like they're just there to service his orgasm. And quite often guys lose that consciousness and they just get really kind of focused on their orgasm, and they make women feel this way. And then the other thing is when the guy is working her body, stimulating it mechanically, trying to turn it on or trying to make it come. And women feel like they're being worked like a machine, like there's just some kind of a work you're doing to get her to some kind of a result. She doesn't feel she's with you. She doesn't feel any connection, even if she comes. So quite often when guys trying to give a woman an orgasm, it's a very disconnecting experience of sex for her, and it's not satisfying at all. So there you go. Connection is the most important thing a woman wants to feel in sex. Women get it quite rarely. They don't get enough of it. A lot of the time they get in this disconnected mechanical sex. So keep this in mind and give her something really special that really matters to her.